Alright guys, so you're probably wondering how to get ready for Railjack or slash Empyrean. I can't tell you what we'll be doing in Empyrean or Railjack, but I can tell you how to get your Archwings ready because there's not a whole lot of that out there. If you go and look that up on YouTube or anywhere really, there's not a whole lot of tutorial guides on Archwing because no one likes Archwing except for me. I love Archwing. As you can see, I like my Archwing. Really like my Archwing. So I'll be showing you guys how to use all the different weapons and what they're capable of. Most of them are about the same. The melee, I haven't noticed a difference in all the melee. It's kind of your own, what you like the look of and how the attacks work. I like the Kaza because it looks cool, but everything, there's not much of a difference per se on the damages. It's really just preference on which one you like the best of. The weapons, my preferred weapons are the dual Decurion, Cyngas, and Velocitus, but all of them are really, it's up to you on whether you like them or not. All of them will require different amounts of work to make them good. The Corvas, probably everyone can agree that this is one of the worst Archwing weapons because just shotgun in space doesn't really mix well, especially when you're shooting hundreds of meters away and it's a pellet-based shotgun, so we'll talk about that one later. But Grattler, good for close range, not good for long range. Larkspur, really good at clearing big groups of enemies, not very far away. Phaedra just melts everything, honestly. Fluctus, same deal. Velocitus, single target. So if we have a boss or something big to hit, you'll definitely want to pick up a Velocitus for that, but I don't know because we don't know. Cyngas, good all around, good at melting targets, good at dealing with single targets, good at dealing with a lot of targets. Same with dual Decurion. Empyrean Vandal, I can't quite figure it out. Everyone likes this gun. I don't know why, but I just can't figure it out. But that's okay. Everyone can like their own weapons. Alright guys, we're going to be looking at the dual Decurion, one of my more favorite weapons. This is the Riven mod build that I have. It's good Riven. Not the best Riven, but good Riven. But we are going to be using no Rivens because not everyone has a Riven. So I will be seeing you soon. I'm going to be doing the intercept mission for about 7 waves. We'll see. We might go higher. I think since this is the first one, I'll do 10 or so just to show that we don't really need to go that high, but I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, we're going to be looking at the dual Decurion, one of my more favorite Archwing weapons, and yeah, I'll let you guys know how good it's going to do at around wave 7. Right now the enemies are kind of trash, and that's how we're going to be doing the rest of these, so sit back and I will be back in a few seconds.
Tower online.
Alright guys, this is the dual Decurion, one of my more favorite arc guns. So the DPS is pretty good, the accuracy is really nice. There is, what I can tell, almost no fall off on the bullets, but downsides, magazine is very short. If you have a lot of fire rate, you will burn through your magazine. Luckily, it does reload, and I think it's 0.5 seconds. Yeah. Either that or 1 second, but it's almost no reload time, which is nice. You just have to pull your finger off the trigger for a minute. But one of the most favorite arc guns of mine. would recommend getting. You're gonna want someone for like reconnaissance in Railjack, hopefully, if we're doing that. But you're gonna want someone with these, hopefully, because they're very fast and they're good just about anywhere. You can hit longer range shots with them pretty easily. They're good up close. They're good with dealing with lots of enemies. They're good at taking out pretty decent targets. You do have to put in a lot of forma to make these really good. I have 5 in mine. You should only need 4 because of the Riven mod that I got mine. But if you don't have a Riven mod, you should just need about 4. You've already seen my build for it. So yeah, if you put a lot of love into this gun, it'll definitely be worth your while. But let's go see if we can find an Omega. I want to show you guys what this can do. As you can see, it's taking out most of them in about 1 to 3 shots, depending on what it procs and all that. But definitely one of the more versatile weapons. It can handle just about anywhere. It's not stuck to just one application like some of them are, but hey, if you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none, so you got that going for it. But we're gonna see if here we go. So this guy's level 36, so not the highest, but melts him in a really decent time. Like, I don't know what more you could ask for 2 pistols, so yeah, it's definitely worth your time. I would recommend getting them. Some people may not like them just because of the magazine is very short, but crit's okay. Bullet spread is almost non-existent. I say that as I can't hit anything, but bullet spread very accurate. I think it's like every 4 or 5 shots it misses, which is really nice for a weapon that you want to be shooting in long range. Because the maps for Empyrean or Railjack are rumored to be about 30 kilometers long. I don't know how far the render is going to be, but I personally want the bullets to hit most of the marks at about 1,000 meters away. And some of the guns don't do that, but then some of the guns do better at multi-targets. So yeah, this is definitely one of the better ones. But yeah, you guys can decide for yourself. Obviously you have your own opinion, but I really like these guns. They're probably my most used ones, if not the Velocitus is, but they're definitely my most used regular arc guns, if there's a regular. But yeah, I really like using these. These are a lot of fun, and yeah, I hope you guys really like these too. The next one is going to be the Cyngas, I believe, and yeah, that's one of my more favorite too, so you'll be seeing that in just a few seconds. But yeah, I hope you guys like these. We're going to do most of the arc guns today, so yeah, we'll see you in a few. I'll see you guys later. Alright, so we're going to be looking at the Cyngas. It's a very fun weapon, very fun burst weapon. You can see I have a good, it's a utility riven. It's not like game breaking, but it helps get rid of that impact where you're proccing more slash and corrosive that you really want to be proccing. But we'll be using the non-riven modded build for the intercept mission on Uranus, and you will see how good it is. I'll see you there. Alright guys, we're going to be looking at the Cyngas unriven modded. It is one of my favorite arc guns. It's a burst gun, but we'll talk about that more later. I'm going to go to about round 7, and I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, this is the Cyngas, one of my favorite arc guns. It's a burst rifle, fires 3 shots in succession. Very fast, very powerful. The fall off, I don't notice much fall off if there is any, but it's definitely not noticeable. The bullets hit their target most of the time. Crit's okay, it has really nice status, and yeah, it scales well with all the other enemies. After I capture all these towers, I'm going to go kill some enemies and show you, but as you can see, it's killing them in a decent amount of time. You can get a Riven with crit on there and possibly a negative IPS. You would be golden. Status is not too bad. Extra elemental damage is not that bad. Yeah. This weapon works well with just about anything, honestly. It just gets more powerful the more you put work into it, like most weapons, but this one's actually worth the effort you put in. And yeah, we'll see if we can find something tough right now. I would definitely recommend getting it, whether that's your first additional Archwing gun, or if it's your second, or if you've already got most of them. I would recommend getting this one because it's just a nice weapon all around. It's really easy to use. Doesn't take much skill, you just have to aim kind of over there and you hit the target, but doesn't have any punch through, unfortunately. You have to add that, but yeah, it's really nice. There's not downsides, honestly. The magazine's big enough. I don't think I've ever run out of ammo in my Cyngas, just because it kills stuff fast enough to where I don't need to run at, or to where I don't need to have to wait for it to reload. It just reloads fast enough to where I don't need it. But the damage procs are just the slash procs are just really high. I don't know what we're gonna be fighting. This does okay against bosses. It's if you had to pick one gun, I would pick this one just because it scales well. It may not do the most damage like the Velocitus, but you can deal with a ton of enemies at a time at the same time of you can help with the boss if there is a boss at the same time. Or you can just do whatever. It's a gun that will work with just about anything you want to try and do. And yeah, it's really nice, and there are some arcanes that can help with arc guns, but I'll do that later, probably in a different video. But yeah, arcanes do play well with arc guns. I'm not sure if many people know that arcanes carry over whatever's on the Warframe, but yeah, they play well, and this gun benefits, like all the other guns, they all benefit from it, but this is the one I use probably the most. That or the dual Dacron, but yeah. And yeah, I think that'll be it. I got a few more percent left, but yeah, I think I'm gonna be done with this one for now, and I'll see you guys later. Alright guys, we're gonna be looking at the Fluctus today. Some people consider it the best arc gun in the world, but I personally think it's okay. It's fun to use in certain situations, but the crit's okay, status is okay. I prefer other guns, but yeah, you can be the choice of that. Today we're going to be using the non-Riven modded because my Riven is cheating and most people don't use it. So no Riven mod today. We're going to go with a standard corrosive build, and yeah, we'll see you there. I think I'm going to go for about 7 waves on the intercept mission on Uranus, and I'll see you there. Alright guys, this is the Fluctus, one of my kind of favorite weapons. I don't use it very much, but it's very powerful and I do notice it, but a lot of people like it. The bullets remind me a lot of Excalibur's Exalted Blade, but yeah, I'll be back in about round 7 and I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, this is the Fluctus review, and it's one of my, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely up there. It's reminds me a lot of Excalibur's Exalted Blade, which everyone likes, but it does a lot of damage, very good at clearing crowds of enemies, as I'll show in a minute, and there's some cool stuff that you can do with it. Complaints, the distance that the bullets travel is pretty short compared to how far you're shooting in Archwing, and the other complaint is the flight speed, which I'll show in a minute on some of the fun stuff you can do because it's so slow. But yeah, we'll get this captured and then we'll go have some fun. So, if you're new to Archwing, then you know that there's a few mods that you can get for your Archwing, and one of them is flight speed that some people like, some people don't like, depending on if you can maneuver. Well, flight speed, so close to maxed out, you don't have to max out, but close to maxed out, you can do this. So you can fire, and you fly faster than the bullets, and then you can just let them all hit the targets in front. I'll show that in a second. Let's find... so we'll do this guy. Actually, no. He's too close. Him. Right? Let's see if I can find a better example. Here we go. So we got this guy. You can just let the bullets like wipe out the enemies. It's pretty fun. Something you can do for screwing around with your friends, but yeah, I would like it to be fixed, but then that would make this gun really overpowered, so it probably won't get fixed. So yeah. You could probably get a Riven with flight speed on there, actually. That would probably help a lot with it. But Fluctus Rivens are... they're a little expensive, but most people don't want to waste their time with Arc Rivens. But who knows, maybe after Empyrean or Railjack comes out, everyone's going to be selling them and wanting them. So, yeah, it's a good weapon, good damage, not great status, good, okay crit, really good at clearing big groups of enemies, as I'll show with this group of 3 big groups. But you can just wipe out that entire group just by laying a blanket of bullets. But yeah, it's a fun weapon. Has, from what I can tell, infinite punch through until they reach their distance that they can fly. I'm not sure if it's distance or time. But yeah, they fly for about, I think it's 800 to 900 meters, I think. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. I enjoy them, not for this sort of mission, but for like if you have a buddy with you that has live round ammo that can take out enemies from afar. But this is fun just if you have a buddy with you. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend using this solo because it sucks and takes out those guys pretty quickly when it crits, and when it doesn't, that's okay. But let's see if I can find one more. Not you, not you, not you, not you. Aha, there you are. So as you can see, it's pretty decent. It's not the fastest, not the slowest. It's just okay. Yeah, it's okay. It works well. If you like this kind of weapon, then you should definitely go for it. But yeah, it is a lot of fun. Alright guys, we're back for another review for Archwing weapons for Railjack or Empyrean, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. We are going to be doing the Velocitus, the sniper. It's a good one. It's a good gun. Everyone's been using it for Eidolon hunts and orb hunts, but those don't count, because if you look at the stats for on the ground versus in the air, they're different. Yeah, you guys know they're different, and you can't compare to when they're on the ground versus when they're in Archwing mode. So we're going to be doing the no Riven build. This is a good build. I think it should be fun. Yeah, we'll see how good it does. We're going to go do the endless the intercept mission on Uranus, and we're going to go have some fun doing that. And I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, so we are going to be looking at the Velocitus. Looks like we're gonna have one person joining us. We'll see how long we can go. I will see you guys in a few when the enemies get harder. See you there. Alright guys, so we're at round 7. The enemies are about 40 to 45. It's about as high as I'm gonna go because I'm doing a lot of other weapons and I don't want to spend 6 hours on each weapon to get these up to like level 100s, because that would take hours. So we're going to be doing about 7 rounds for each one, and here's the Velocitus unriven modded, and it's pretty decent. It's one of my more favorite weapons. I don't like using it for standard missions because of the fact that the recoil sucks and the charge time sucks for killing lots of enemies. And it has, yeah, I just don't like it for standard missions. Why I can't kill that guy, I don't know. But yeah, it's one of my more favorite Archwings or Archwing weapons, and it's really good. It's just about one-shotting everything without a charge. Xmas sometimes take 2 if it doesn't proc a crit, but yeah, it's a good weapon. I would recommend it if we have a boss battle in Railjack or Empyrean. And yeah, it's one of my more favorite weapons. Probably gonna finish out this one, but yeah, one of the most damaging but not one of the most easy to use weapons for Archwing. You might put punch through if you either get a Riven or you get there's one of the Archwing mods that would allow punch through. That might help with the guys with shields, but I personally don't use it because I went for a max damage build instead of most useful, because that's just me. Kind of regretting it, but it's okay. We don't learn until we make a mistake. But there are no mistakes. So these guys, I had accidentally tagged them, but it'll one-shot these guys if you can hit them. Usually, if crit or not, it'll one-shot those guys. But yeah, this is the Velocitus review. I didn't want to do it on the ground because if you look at the stats, all of them show up after this, but the stats change, and it's like a Vandal or Wraith. You can't compare on the ground to in the air, so I figured, hey, what's better than doing it in the air? Alright guys, this is the Corvas. Probably one of the worst weapons in the game, but that opinion is up to you. It's a shotgun. Okay, stats, it's a shotgun, so we'll see how it does, but I'm gonna go do an intercept mission for about 7 waves, and we can see what this thing can do. I'll see you there. Alright guys, this is the Corvas review. We'll see how it does. One of my least favorite weapons in the Archwing, because shotgun, pellets, 0 gravity, Yeah. So I'll come back in about 6 rounds and show you guys what it can do with higher level enemies. Alright guys, this is the Corvas. One of the more unique arc guns. I suppose if you're gonna have a genre of guns, you gotta have a shotgun, so it does okay. Uncharged shots kill most enemies in one hit. Some enemies it can't. The fall off kind of sucks, as you can see. But you guys will get to see some stuff here in a second. But yeah, not one of my favorite weapons, but you know. Sometimes you just gotta give everything a try.
We are dominating. Keep it up.
Thank you. But as you guys can see, it does a fair bit of damage. It's not the best damage, but okay. Thank you. Yeah, not one of my more favorite weapons, but it gets the job done, I guess. There might be an application for this, maybe if they add some mods, but it just shotgun and space I feel like don't mix well, just because, yeah. So I'll show you guys what this can do to this guy. So most time at 2 shots, sometimes 1 shots, but it's really just your luck, or if you have a ribbon or any of that. But I put on that focus mod where it makes the pellets a little tighter. That way, it's kind of viable for hitting longer distance, but it still sucks. So yeah, I'll let you guys decide on whether it's worth it or not, but the fall off kind of sucks, especially when you're trying to kill these guys at a distance. It's very good for very, very close range, but other than that, it's not very good. If we could get a mod that makes it where the damage doesn't fall off, I might use it, but it just doesn't do enough damage over the distance that you need to be hitting enemies in an Archwing. And a bit. It's okay. And I think that's it.
More data is being broadcasted.
You guys can decide if it's good or not. See you guys for the next one. Alright guys, we're going to be looking at the Grattler. Some of people's favorite weapon. Definitely one of the better weapons. It has very good DPS, but the range... yeah, the range kind of sucks, but we'll see how good it does. I'm going to go into the intercept mission for about 7 waves, and we'll see how it does. I'll see you there. Alright guys, we're going to be looking at the Grattler. We'll see how well it does. I'll be back shortly at wave 7. Okay, see you there. Alright guys, here's the Grattler, it performs pretty well. I personally really like it. I gotta go and do something IRL, so yeah, I'll show you guys what this can do real quick. We're not gonna get the full 7 rounds, but it's kind of, yeah,
You have captured a radio tower.
kind of shows itself pretty well. Let me capture this last tower, and then I'll show you what this can do.
We have lost control of a tower.
Okay,
Tower online.
so its damage is pretty good. It's not a one-shot all the time, but it has fast enough fire rate to where it just melts everything in its path. Only complaint is the range, but honestly, the range is okay. It's like 150 meters, I think, and it hits the mark if you're within a decent range. For the damage it does, it's pretty good, but wish I had a way to extend the range, but at that time you don't get the cool like explosion that takes out like big groups of enemies whenever you get just that right distance away. But yeah, this one is definitely one of the cooler ones. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's not the worst, and if you like it, put some work into it, and it'll be, if you treat it well, it'll treat you well. But yeah, we'll see. This guy melts him pretty fast. It's, like I said, it's not a one shot, but it has 60 rounds in the magazine, so it does a lot, and it's pretty awesome. Alright guys, we're going to be looking at the Larkspur. Very good group killing, mass damage dealing depending on if you use the charged or held attacks, but we're going to be looking at what this looks like unriven modded and how well it can do in the intercept mission. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Alright guys, this is the Larkspur review. We're going to see how well it does. I'm going to take it to some high level enemies, or as high as we can get, and I'll show you what it can do in a few. Alright guys, this is the Larkspur, one of the newer the newest Archwing weapon that got added into the game with Hildren. Really good at groups of enemies, dealing with them. Downsides, if you're using the primary fire, definitely range, but it does chain in between enemies, a lot like the Amprex, and so it really nice for dealing with lots of enemies in a small area. The alt fire, the charge, nice for sniping out those enemies that are a bit too far away for the primary to hit. Downside, I'll show you in a minute, but you can accidentally blow yourself to Neverland. Done that once so far this mission, but you just got to be wary of how far away your target is whenever you're blowing it up. Typically shouldn't be an issue, but yeah, doesn't matter what mods you have on your Archwing, you're gonna die if you get hit with it.
The enemy have captured a tower.
As you can see, it's killed that guy pretty decently. Alright, let's go find something big to use the alt fire on.
We have control of all 4 towers.
As you can see, it's pretty easy to aim. The alt fire is nice for enemies that have those shields too, but you got to be careful of the explosion radius. Very careful of the explosion radius. As you can see, that kind of hurt a lot. But it's a very good weapon. Your squad's probably going to want someone with this in Railjack, more than likely, because there's always lots of small units that need to be dealt with, and the alt fire can do lots of damage to a single target, but it's not the easiest to fire. And if that target's moving, it does have travel time, which makes it hard to aim if the target's moving. So with that in mind, it's a good weapon. We're probably going to want someone in the squad to have one just for that crowd clearing, but yeah, it's anyone with a Grattler can clear crowds too pretty quickly, but this just gets it done very fast and efficiently. I have never run out of ammo with this thing, so ammo economy is amazing. So yeah, as you can see, it can kill this guy very quickly. And yeah, you just got to be careful of that alt fire, as I'll show you when you get close to something. You're dead. So, something to keep in mind. It can be really good, but it can also be bad at the same time. So, if you don't like dying by your own means, I probably wouldn't use this, or I would just stay away from the alt fire. But other than that, it's a pretty decent weapon. I really like it. Honestly, it does enough damage and is really good at chaining between enemies, so I would give this one a thumbs up if you wanted it. We're definitely going to need someone with it, and with that, I will be back with the last one, and it's going to be the Phaedra, so I'll see you there. Alright guys, this is the Phaedra review. I will be looking at a non-Riven modded Phaedra. This will be the last weapon of the day, and I am not doing the Imperator or Imperator Vandal just because everyone has that weapon. So if you guys want it to happen, I need to see it in the comments that you guys want to see that review, or it will not happen because everyone has access to that weapon and know what it's capable of. I'll see you in the intercept mission. Alright guys, this is the Phaedra review. I will be doing about 7 rounds for this review. I will see you back at round 7. I'll see you there. Hey guys, we're back with the Phaedra review. It's performing pretty well. We're at round 7 like usual, and it is performing pretty well. It's in the description. It is claimed as Soma's big sister, and it behaves like Soma's big sister, and it works pretty well. 2 complaints: the fall off for the bullets. So the further, if you don't know what fall off is, the further it fires, the less damage it does. So that you have to take into account. But with how much damage it is doing, it's pretty nice. It fires a lot of bullets really fast. You can put fire rate mods on there and get Rivens that have fire rate and make this a true beast. It crits every once in a while, and when it crits hard. But it takes out everything in a good amount of time. You have to get somewhat close to enemies to hurt them a lot, but that's okay. A lot of them you have to get pretty close, but I would definitely recommend picking this one up because it's just easy to use. There's almost no downsides. The bullet spread is a little bad, but it's not terrible. I have seen worse, but it's definitely one of the easier to use weapons. You just hold down the trigger and you just keep your target on them. Bullet spread does help if you can't aim very well. It does end up hitting targets sometimes, but it will frustrate you if you are aiming exactly where you want to aim and it's not hitting it. So yeah, I would recommend picking this up. I don't know if it's going to be useful in the new Railjack or Empyrean, but it will definitely be nice for lower to medium class enemies. It doesn't take on bosses very well, but that's okay because really you only need a couple boss able weapons, and I wouldn't want this to be a good boss handling weapon. I kind of like it being low to mid enemies, and it will take care of them. As you can see, these guys are decent level. They're not high level, but they're decent level. So it's taking them out in 3 or 4 shots and 2 if it crits. And yeah, it does really well. If you have a good ribbon for it, then I would recommend putting that on there, but other than that, it does really well. I like it, but some of you will, some of you won't, some of you just might think it's cool but never use it, but it's alright, because you're gonna need different weapons for different missions, and hopefully we will know more about Railjack or Empyrean at TennoCon 2019. This video should go up before, and if it does, hooray, and if it doesn't, well, I tried. But it will be going up soon, and I hope that everyone likes it. So I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, as you just saw, I did all the arc gun weapon reviews except for the Imperator. If you guys want that, I will do it later, but like I said, almost everyone knows what the Imperator can do, and if you don't, then you probably don't know what Archwing is because you don't have one. And it's the starter Archwing weapon. I personally don't like it, but everyone should know what it can do. If you guys want me to look at it later, I will. But so the dual Dacrons, they're very good at clearing mid to high-end enemies. Okay at taking out bosses. They're pretty decent. The magazine's a little low, so if you can get a Riven with a higher magazine, perfect. And then Cyngas, good, same thing, just good all around. Magazine could be a little bigger, but yeah, it's really good. Fluctus, very good at DPS and crowd clearing. I wish that we could get some mods to increase the projectile flight speed or the projectile flight distance. That would be really nice, but it's a good mid-range weapon. Not very good at killing bosses if they're moving because of the fact that it can't catch up to the bosses, like the Jordis' Golem and stuff like that. So it is not very good. If we had better flight speed, then it might be a contender, but right as of this moment, it is not. So I would recommend picking this one up for clearing large crowds or just having fun with it, because it's a lot of fun. Velocitus, very good at single target enemies. Okay at dealing with mid-range units if you don't use the charge on it, but the recoil sucks when you're trying to rapid fire, so keep that in mind. Corvas, it's good at killing large enemies that have big hitboxes. Smaller enemies, not really. It's a shotgun in space, so take it with a grain of salt. It's okay. I don't like it, but it does perform good enough for some people to use, so up to you. Grattler, very good at clearing crowds and single targets. Needs more range. Like I said, range mods would be very nice, but it is a very good weapon. Do recommend picking it up. Larkspur, very good at clearing huge crowds of enemies, chaining its attack on the enemies, kind of like the Emprex, and it's charged attack, very good at dealing lots of damage, but downside range and self-damage with the secondary attack. Fandura, very good at dealing with mid to high-end enemies, not good with bosses that are far away because of the fall-off. Would be nice to fix the fall-off, but that's okay. If you get lots of damage or fire rate on this gun, it is very good. It's easy to use. I do recommend picking it up, and like I said, the Imperator, everyone should know what this one is, and if you want me to do a review on it, then let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. See you guys at TennoCon.